To each and everyone. Oh, my beautiful kings and queens. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning to Trinidad. And of course, good morning to the world. Our Caribbean brothers and sisters who are viewing, we wish you a blessed day. And thank you for joining us for Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. I am your host, J.W. Moore, also known as J Soul, and I will be taking you on a wonderful journey for the next 2 hours. Now, Brunch is a wonderful, wonderful mid-morning show. We seek to inspire you, we seek to inform you, and we seek to empower you. And in case no one has told you today, you are special and you are fearfully and wonderfully made. We have quite a few things going on today, guys. It's going to be a fun, packed show, and you do not want to miss it. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, the Amplia Network 102. Now, the good stuff is first, and good stuff seeks to really speak on and highlight the wonderful things, the wonderful men and women, sons and daughters of Trinidad and Tobago who are impacting the world positively. So get ready for good stuff. We also have our Agro Corner. We also have Life Diaries. We're going to be speaking with some very, very iconic and prophetic individuals on the brunch set today. The good stuff takes me first to the news day. So you guys have so many columns, so many wonderful uses of literary devices here. And Sydney's designs a showcase of creativity. From my mind, my imagination, I just think about it and I draw it. This was Sydney's explanation of how she comes up with her designs. 5 days before Sydney's 15th birthday, she launched her line, T-shirts designs, at an annual autism tea party and fashion show organized by Support Autism T&T. Wonderful, 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 Sydney. We are so proud of you. In addition to launching her designs, Sydney modeled an outfit she designed herself. So when we are doing wonderful things, our young people are impacting humanity positively, we need to highlight these achievements. So good morning to Sydney, and a thank you for your art, and thank you to your family for supporting you. The next article is from The Guardian. Snow White with a Trini twist. Interesting, interesting, interesting. The DC Shell Theatre, Crazy Catholic, and Sindon production of Snow White and the 7 Trinis. Yeah, you heard it right here. Snow White and the 7 Trinis was held at Queen's Hall on August 12th and August 13th. Since their first production, Comedians Can Cook and Cinderella in 2003, DC Shell Theatre has provided TNT with wholesome family entertainment and clean comedy expertly directed by the crazy Catholic himself, Deacon Sheldon Narine. Yes, who has been in the theater business for over 39 years. So it's wonderful, Snow White and the Seven Trinities. You get so much by just that name alone. So guys, check it out. Check out the Newsday, the Trinidad Guardian as well. Also, the Daily Express, help for people who stutter. I want you guys to really take a look at this. It's easy to take the act of expressing one's self for granted. But for those with deficiencies, most commonly referred to as stuttering or stammering, talking can seem to be like an obstacle. Of course, to the understanding that disfluency is what causes it and the treatment that is available for those who stutter. The Express tongue twister there. Let me take my time. The Express sought the expertise of speech language and pathologist Donella Rodriguez. Much of her workload involves children with autism, but Rodriguez is also one of the very few speech language pathologists in Trinidad and Tobago who provides therapy for her stuttering clients. For those of us who did not know, disfluency is the condition where your speech is impaired, specifically stuttering or stammering as we all know it in our local parlance today. The Newsday, the Guardian, and of course the Daily Express, seeks to really empower us and inform us at the same time. So you guys really want to take a look at what we have going on, okay, in our Good Stuff segment. Also, a couple things before we go to break. Dreams into Reality, Team 98, the graduating class of the then Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive School. Pleasant and hearty good morning to you and the wonderful work that you are doing in the community. Thank you to the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful planning committee of Team 98. You're definitely doing so much, and we want to just pay respect and we want to just highlight the wonderful things that you are doing, giving back to the community. Your back to school drive was such a success, and we want to highlight that as well. So to all the teachers, to all the students, to all the pupils of Team 98, graduating class of Signal Hill Senior Comprehensive School, a pleasant and hearty and blessed morning to you from our family to yours. Also, Marsha of Planet T-Shirts, good morning to you. We are going to have a wonderful time with Marsha as the days go by. So I'm just giving her a shout out this morning. So we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back with the Life Diaries, Mr. Michael Stewart. You guys don't want to miss that one. We'll be right back.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Susolands, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This this is your show.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, half-inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Wait, I don't even have suit and thing for this wedding. Why getting them thing?
Call a port right over there.
Alright, thanks.
The Port Mall, where the varieties are large from your favorite stores, from restaurants to salons and from clothing stores to jewelry stores, located at Sanctus Hill, Scarborough, Tobago. Telephone numbers 868-334-6589.
Wow. I didn't expect to see you here. Look good.
Thanks. It's all because of you and Pork Mall. But here now, I'm going to start with it. You want to join me?
Yeah, that's okay.
Alright.
Beat the rush and come on down to the Port Mall.
Back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I am so blessed, I'm so honored, and I'm so thankful that my first guest gave us of his time this morning. Now, you guys may know the man that I'm about to speak to. He has done everything from communications to licensing to activism, spearheaded so many initiatives regarding the youth of our nation and also the youth of the Caribbean and by extension the world. And usually he's a host. So the tables have turned this morning. He is now in the chair where he gets to answer some questions and you guys get to know him. Let's welcome to Brunch, a taste of Tobago, Mr. Michael Stewart.
Thank you very much.
Morning.
And an uncomfortable chair at that.
Yes, yes, because we seldom get the opportunity to know the person, the man or woman, the son or daughter who is spearheading these initiatives and wonderfully impacting the world. And we thank you so much for everything that you have been doing so far in terms of empowerment and, guidance to our young men and young women. So this, like I was saying, this is unlike any other interview that you may have done, whereas we want to get as much of you out of it as possible. So let's go back. Let's go back to where you would have started. Did you always love communications and being an activist and being a more or less a helper? Did you always love that line of work?
I think it started when there was a program in Tobago to help train people in journalism. It was many, many years ago. Hilson Phillips was one of those persons.
Right. Oh,
At the end of it, then there was the opportunity to work on 610 Radio, which was at Bachelet Street at the time.
Right.
There was no pay to it, but a number of us elected to go and get the exposure there. Along the way, some stopped because they said the running up and down without pay was costly. But I stayed there. In fact, I stayed there for 3 straight years and without pay at all. But I started to like the thing about going out, getting news, come back and give the news stories, editing, writing, and so on. So it worked quite well. But after 3 years, a scholarship came out from the government of Trinidad and Tobago, giving persons who are not formally trained in journalism to get a scholarship to go to Jamaica, Mona, to formalize their training in journalism. And while the others left, I was the only one there was working there still without pay for the 3 years. And one of the qualifications for that scholarship is that you must have been in the system for 3 years.
Okay.
So I had just crossed 3 years. And that year I was the only one with a scholarship from Tobago to go and study journalism.
Yeah.
And that started the train of events in my life since then.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it in Tobago. I always say it's such a unique presence that we have as Tobagonian people.
Yes,
There's a
it is.
rhythm to us, there's an expression to us, and we touch something and you know when you see it that it came from Tobago.
What I've also learned is that we shouldn't peg everything to a dollar value. Because if you do it because you think that this is something you want to expose yourself to, learn and grow from, then it is going to pay big dividends later on.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I really had to take a look back, it's like you did so many things. You dabbled in so many various spheres of work, of community life, etc. Arthur Lockjack. Oh my gosh, what was that like for you?
Oh, I'm telling you, that was having to plan events and come together. The detail you have to go into planning event, but it also opened my mind. So a lot of things when you watch an event and you tell yourself there are so many things missing in when we do an event, whether we have really catered for the audience that we want, whether we put all the things in place. And when you look back now at events you've planned prior to Arthur Lockjack, I tell myself we had so many things missing, so many things missing. But it has also helped me to also assist other people when they're pulling together events, particularly people in communication, people who are in the industry of doing public relations, etc. The planning of an event is a key component of how you execute your responsibilities.
Definitely. And you said it so well, which brings me to my next question. I'm seeing, I've been looking, I have to say, I did quite a bit of reading, and your degree in psychology, that was one of the things that stood out to me. And it makes me aware of just how much you actually want to work, not just with the person, but you want to get into the psyche. You want to understand what motivates, what is a turn-off, what triggers. And, working with the youth and seeing where this type of training comes in. What has it been like for you working with the young people?
I think it has been such an experience in being able to understand them and connect with them. I'm recently back from doing one in St. Lucia with boys and girls. And the last night before we left, everybody came into my room to sleep the final night in the room. And I asked, well, why do you want to sleep in here? They said, well, because we're also sleeping on floors on the outside and so on. They
Right.
say, well, the floor outside is hard. And I said, well, inside of this room, you have to sleep on the floor. They say, but your floor is softer. But what I experienced with that is that they were missing the fact that the camp was coming to an end. And they asked for another segment of the camp. And that part of it is really learning how to connect with these young people
Yes.
and be able to be in their space with them as they are. There are things that they talk about that you really figure that they should not be speaking about. But how can you really correct them if you really don't know it? For example, some of the songs that they listen to, has a lot of violence in it. And if you don't listen to the song, there is little you can do to tell them why that song is not appropriate.
Yes.
So I've learned to listen to some of them, and when you speak the language of the song and you tell them why it is, I think it becomes more valid in their minds that you are speaking from a standpoint that you know the song itself that they have been singing. So it has been good, but the psychology has also helped me as far as relationships concerned, because I do counseling with intimate relationships, men and women. And so that also has helped me in dealing with a number of marital and relationship problems. And so that has also done well in my life.
Yeah. And what about going to college in Jamaica, the University of the West Indies? You would have graduated with honors there. Mass communications, again, loving it, because you notice that there's a trend here
Yes,
in terms of where your journey is taking you. But what was that like before even getting to the graduation aspect of it? What was it like for you entering into the Mona campus, Jamaica?
It was a culture shock. I landed there, I think it was on a Friday, and I was supposed to be there for at least a year. I was on a plane the Tuesday after landing there the Friday. It was such a culture shock. I jumped on a plane and came back home. Because it's a completely different psyche and the way how people are. For example, we were in class one day, and a fight breaks out on campus. A man is beating a woman. She falls in the drain. He jumps down behind of her, beating her. So those of us from Trinidad and Tobago and some of the other Caribbean were traumatized, and we could not continue the class. But the Jamaicans said, what is all the problem? Yes, they wanted you to just go straight back to class. How could you sit by and watch that? But this had become such a norm for them that it did not faze them at all.
Yeah, they were very much unbothered and just wanted to get back to class.
Yes. And I'm afraid if Trinidad and Tobago continues on a way of criminality and murder, we too will become numb. Because I think we need to be sensitive to the pain of people and what people are going in and be prepared to make an intervention. So while some talking about let's go out there and rescue the lady, let's go out there and do that, people felt mind your business. You see? So that culture shock, I jumped on a plane and I came back.
Oh my.
But I eventually went back and finished.
Well, yeah, I mean, you definitely experience, I mean, we are all a part of one West Indian melting pot.
That's right.
But the cultures are so vast. The cultures are so different within this melting pot.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's only by, I mean, if you're just confined to your cloister here in Trinidad and Tobago, then you can deal with whatever happens here. But when you travel and when you have to get out of the comfort zone, that's when everything hits.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it doesn't hit in a nice way, like music. Bob Marley says, when music hits, you feel no pain. It doesn't hit like that.
Yes.
It hits you with some pain.
That's right. That's right.
You know, one of the things that I noticed, and I just wanted to speak on, I wrote it down because I wanted to have the terminology quite right. Appointed Caribbean Coordinator, World Day of the Boy Child, May 16th. And I remember I made special note of that. Yeah, because it really was catered specifically to the boy child, to the male psyche, the sons, you know. And what made you go that route? What made you feel that, okay, I need very much to empower the sons and the uncles and the fathers and the brothers? I need to empower this part of the human race. What made you go that route?
Well, first of all, the appointment was by Dr. Jeremy T. Luxing, the founder of World Day of the Boy Child, who is also the founder of International Men's Day.
Okay.
And so he felt, when he saw what I was doing on behalf of boys and men, he appointed me as the Caribbean coordinator.
Right.
And I'm just back from Grenada, having met with the acting prime minister there, who at the time has the responsibility for gender affairs, to start doing some things there also. But what pushed me is that I have 3 boys and 1 girl. And I'm very concerned about my boys. I also have 2 grandsons. And if we do not help our boys to be able to come up to speed and to be able to be affirmative in their outlook in life and be visionaries, then I think that the world is going to lose if men are behind and they are not taking up their space.
Right.
And so my contribution is to help boys as they grow into men to make that transition. So it is such a joy when you look back now and you meet boys who are in their 20s that I started to chat with when they were in their 13 years old, and now they're 20-something years old now.
That critical transition period there.
And I'm always amazed at the transition that they take in many cases. And some of them, you would have had some little challenges. I'll tell you one of the things that have been painful for me, where there was a 9-year-old boy who was very disruptive. But when you sat down and I spoke with him, and that's the thing about communication, when you sit down and speak with him, when he comes home from school, his parents are not home. But he's thirsty, and the only thing inside of the fridge is a beer. And he opens it. He's alone at home. There's no adult supervision. So from 9 years old, he's drinking alcohol as his thirst quencher.
Oh.
That gives him his aggression, that gives him his disposition, etc. So it's not that he is a bad child. The boy it is through no fault of his own, it is a parental delinquency issue.
Yes.
And once you sort that out, the boy is as nice as ever.
So I love the way that you were willing to meet the mindset where the mindset is at currently. And we don't get to the root of the problem without being able to delve in to what is causing the problem in the first place.
Yes.
There's where communications comes in.
Yes,
so like I said before, you see the trend here.
Yes,
you see the way the journey would have been.
Yes, it's necessary
navigated.
to get into their space and understand it from their perspective. And then you become very empathetic.
Yes.
Because now you understand why the person is behaving in this way. Normally we're very judgmental as to the behaviors of people. But if you understand the journey they've taken, then I think it makes you so engaged with them. And it gives you a level of validity now to lead them away from there, because they see, you understand me.
Yes.
So they trust you to lead them out of there. But if you never try to do that and you're just trying to tell them, you shouldn't be doing this, do this, then they really don't figure that you have understood the challenges.
And you have their best interest at
That's
heart.
right.
We're going to take a break and we're going to be right back with more from Michael Stewart. I told you it was going to be interesting. We're going to be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Stay tuned, guys.
But this place is boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yeah? Poof. Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes. You can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationaries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Summerama, real steam for the summer standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, standard. What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama.
We got more, we got more. Standards of what is searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. Ignite.
There's a new date for Tobago Swim Fest, September 17th, 2023. Come and witness the main event, the 4-kilometer swim from Pigeon Point to Buku Point. More than $25,000 in prizes. It's a family affair, so come out from 11 a.m. on the beautiful Buku Beach. There'll be swimming races, sandcastle building, and seafood on sale. Come and enjoy a fun day at the beach. Calling swimmers from Crown Point to Charlottesville. Registration on the day.
We are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, before I went to the break, I would have indicated that my guest, very accomplished activist, communicator, spearheaded so many initiatives, accomplished author. Oh my gosh, 6 books.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you find the time?
Time management.
Oh my gosh, 6 books. How does the inspiration come to you? Where do you get your inspiration from?
Well, you know, the first one came out when I went to a seminar done by Les Brown in Trinidad.
Mm-hmm.
And Les Brown was speaking to a lady in the audience who asked him a question: how can I write my book? I want to write a book. And the lady is a journalist. She writes articles for the newspaper, well known right here. And he said to her, what you could do is take all of those articles and just put them into chapters and just send it in and write it as a book. And I said, you know, she listened to that, and I wonder if she just understood that he has just given her the ticket to get her first book. So when I left there, I also was writing for the newspaper, and I thought I'd just do the same thing, take everything and make it into a book. And my first book was called Get Yourself Up. Mm-hmm. And Les Brown gave the foreword on that book. And that's how my first book came about. 3 years later, the same lady calls me to ask me how I got my book published. I said, I took the same advice he gave you. Just take your articles and make it into a book. Well, since then, she's now written her own book by doing the same thing. Okay. But it's the delay. We have a delay thing that sometimes we want to do something and we say, okay, then the procrastination steps in and we say, I'm going to do that another time. Mm-hmm. But you see, putting things on the front burner early and just get it done, that's how you do it. You get one book out and then you say, hey, you know, I could get another book out.
Yeah.
And you keep going with it. I think one of the best selling books that I've had is 7 Keys to Unlock the Mystery of Men. I think that wherever it is you go, that people usually want that book. Because I think men want to understand themselves and women want to understand men.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
And that has been, there have been so many questions that have been present regarding the male and female psyche. These questions were plaguing mankind for centuries.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it's an ongoing type
and we still
of
don't have
journey.
the answers.
Yeah, because we still don't know. I hear men saying, oh, only a woman, I don't understand only one bit. And then you hear women saying the same thing. And it's also, all your men and all your women, you know. So it's like, we still don't have the answers. But I think we need to also be considerate of each other. You know, kindness goes a long way.
One of the things I've learned, if you're going to be a good business person, try and understand what the customer wants.
Yeah.
Give the customer what the customer wants, and you will automatically, you don't have to beg people to pay for your service because they will want your service because you gave them what they want. But in relationships, we try to tell the other person what we want, and we fail because we are not trying to find out what the other person wants and give them what they want. If you make that next person happy, then that person is going to, the law of reciprocity is going to mean that they would want to pay you back with kindness and what you want also. So you must always start with giving rather than receiving.
Yeah, I like the way you said that. And I think a lot of people, many people, too many to count, there's a serious issue with reaching a compromise.
Yes.
Why
yes,
is this
yes,
so
yes,
hard
yes,
to do?
Yes. Yeah.
Reaching a compromise is so hard. Why?
Well, I think most people want what will make them happy, and in doing that, they create their own unhappiness. I heard somebody say, when you go to the ground with your seed, not your need.
Yeah.
Because you've got to give the ground first before the ground can give you back a harvest. And we go to people with our need. I need your time. I need your money. I need you to do this for me. And so we go with our needs. People go to employers also with their need. Why do you want this job? Well, my mother is sick and I need to get some money. Well, it is an employer hiring to supply your need. You need to go in there and let the employer know that I bring to you a service that you need or a competency that you need. And that person says, listen, then this is what I want. You see, and we do it in relationships, we do it in almost everything, that we keep looking inwardly. But it must start, as the Bible says, it is more blessed to give than to receive.
Yeah,
There's where it is.
definitely. And it seems so plain and simple, and then we make it a mountain. We take a molehill and we make a mountain out of it.
Yes.
Is that a human, natural human characteristic?
I don't think it's natural because of grandparents. When I go out with when my parents were much older, because my father was already in his senior years when he made us. My father made us in his 70s.
Right.
So you can imagine a 70-year-old man making children still. So, but when we went out with them to visit people, every time you go into a person's home, they have the kitchen on the outside, the latrine one side, so these are poor people. But you're never leaving there without something in your hand. They believe in giving, even if it is a yard fowl that is still alive, eggs that they just go out there and get it. They insisted on you leaving with something. Now that mentality meant that they would always have, because somebody who goes to visit them always wants to walk with something.
Yeah.
But because we've become so insular, everything must come to me. I don't give, so somebody else doesn't want to give me either. The law of reciprocity kicks in again.
Yeah, definitely.
So it really comes on the whole aspect of sharing and giving, and once we could have that as a society, I think we'll have a beautiful
Yeah,
place.
it would be so wonderful if we could embrace that.
Yes, and you don't have much, you don't need to have much to give.
Yeah.
Just give of what you have.
Definitely. I love the way that you said that. International Men's Day. And again, we see where the narrative is taking us. You know, how being a part of, spearheading so many initiatives, there has to be a fulfillment within you. How do you feel moving forward? Do you see the narrative changing? Is the conversation changing? Are we moving forward positively? How do you feel?
I feel elated because I get a chance. Before in my counseling business, mostly women. But I'm heartened to see so many men coming in now because they recognize that they have a space, that they have a voice, that they could share. And I see where men have left their relationships. And when we sit down and talk and we ask him to examine himself, what have you contributed and so on, and some of his own history with his own parents and his background, etc. And then he comes to face with that. Many of them have gone back to their relationships.
Right.
Now that they understood that the issue was not her, the issue would have been me. And and what people come to counseling is they're hoping for you to set their spouse straight. But Jim Rohn said, for things to change, I must change. But we keep wanting other people to change.
There you go.
You see? So if I drink alcohol and I get drunk and so on, drunkards would like my company. So if I chase them, all that I'm doing is just recycling another set of drunkards would like my company. But if I stop drink, I don't even need to chase drunkards.
Yes.
They just always say, well, it makes no sense going by Stuart because there'll be no alcohol by Stuart.
We'll just go. We'll just leave.
So all that needs to do is for a person to change and the dynamics around them begin to change.
Definitely.
And I think that is relevant to almost everybody. Anytime you're looking at something, we are energy and we attract into our lives the people that seem to match that type of energy that we give. Just change your energy.
Yeah, and you know, guys, there's nothing more for me to say. He said it so well. You need to change the energy that you invite. We choose what we invite. And sometimes you just need to change the environment, change the circle, change the routine, you know?
Change the way you respond to people.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and it's so wonderful having my uncle, Michael, with us today. Thank you so much for being with us on Brunch. You're now my uncle, so I'm just saying. Yeah, thank you so much for visiting with us. It has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation with you. I hope that you'll be back because we still need to talk about your books. We still need to talk about what's next for you with your consulting company. Oh, guys, and don't forget, Mike at Night is on Facebook. Go check that out. Relationship discussions and really wonderful stuff. So we are going to be back with Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. We're going to take a quick break. See you guys soon.
Experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket. Like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McAl Group.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
October will never be better with Tobago Carnival Fever. Okay, passage and come on over.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your...
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if you're nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, TATIL will always be here for you.
TATIL, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Tobago, after freeness is more speed and better TV. Get a free Samsung smartphone and free installation, plus 200 megabits per second, Paramount Plus, and more for only $299 with a select 200 plan from Flow. Visit online at discoverflow.co today.
Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, for those of you who are just joining us, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, the Amplia Network. It is such a wonderful day on the island of Tobago. And what kind of day would it be if we were not talking about agriculture? If we were not talking about our flora, our fauna, our marine life, you name it. And Brunch aids in keeping these discussions alive. And my very esteemed guests, before I introduce them, speak very candidly to these topics that I would have just described. Casey Marie Boucher Kuhn is here, and she is a plant protection specialist. Am I saying it correctly?
That's correct.
In the Department of Agriculture. And joining her, my brother, my friend here, Mr. Darren Henry. And Darren is the Assistant Conservatory of the Forestry Department, Natural Resources and Forestry. I hope I said it correctly.
Assistant Conservator of Forest.
Oh, okay. So say it one more time for me.
Assistant Conservator of Forest.
Okay, Assistant Conservator of Forests. So you see, I have to make sure I get it right before we even start the conversation. So guys, oh my gosh, thank you so much for giving us your time. I think that the topic is something that we need to really, really be aware of. They're discussing today the giant African snail. Oh, I'm just going to let them do what they do. There's so much that you guys need to know. So we're going to just open the floor. Casey, we're going to start with you. There is actually a consultation that is supposed to be happening on this particular topic, this particular animal that you see right here. So we're going to open the floor. Casey, tell us about, some of the challenges that you guys are facing and what is the importance of a consultation such as this one.
Hi, good morning, everyone. So the consultation is a joint effort, of course, with the Department of Forestry, focusing on macropests. Those are the larger animals that affect crops. And of course, we'll also be looking at this particular pest of crops, the giant African snail. Mm-hmm. Okay. So at the moment, we have our eradication drive underway, where we have an eradication team out in the public space Monday to Friday, usually from 6 p.m., and they work in different affected areas of the island. We have a clarion call out for the public to join in the effort. Just come prepared to have your toes covered, wear boots or any form of closed-toe footwear, and the torch and everything else will be provided by the eradication team. Come out, listen closely, follow the instructions of the team members, and you can assist in collecting and destroying numerous snails in every given night. We have the eradication schedule up on our Facebook page at Division of Food Security. The newest one for this week would have been posted early this morning. So you can see that tonight we'll be working in the Calder Hall, Friendsfield area again. You'll see the assembly point on there as well. Please come out. Please, please, please. More eyes available, more snails intercepted. Yes. And this is one of the most tangible methods for dropping this particular pest population.
Okay, and as you guys are well aware, the conversation has been happening for a while with regards to pests. Our plant life has been, a topic of some buzz for some years gone by. And even today, we still have so many challenges when it regards to pest control. Darren, feel free to jump in here. What are some of the challenges that you guys would have faced in your line of work at the department?
Okay, well, before I go into the challenges, I just want to mention that we have 3 consultations scheduled. One was last week, Tuesday. Tomorrow, the 29th, we have one at the Louisdor Betsy Hope Multipurpose Facility. And the following Tuesday, which is the 5th of September, we have one at the Castara Community Center. Now, we are aware that farmers are having challenges with some of the bird pests and mammalian pests, such as the agouti and the squirrel. So we thought it fit to have this consultation so that we can meet with the farmers, give them our ideas and hear their success stories in terms of how to curb or reduce the attacks or the destruction caused by these pests on their farms, because we know agriculture is important to the whole economical development or survival of Tobago. So we are here to meet with the farmers, express our opinions, have them share their success stories and their opinions so we can work together and have a successful agricultural sector on the island.
Yeah, and you said it so wonderfully. I think if more persons are so passionate about our flora or fauna or agriculture or food, as a matter of fact, we'd be so much better off. I think sensitization is something that, we still a bit slow in terms of implementing. The implementation is where we seem to fall short. Are you guys having any are there discussions with the policymakers, the influencers, the persons who more or less make the rules? Are they meeting with you as the professionals who are in this field and having those discussions? Darren, you jump in.
Well, yes, we are meeting with the policymakers, but for example, some of the regulations that govern the laws of Trinidad and Tobago will be coming out of central government. And sometimes you have challenges. For example, we have some species under the regulation that were listed as vermins, and they were recently changed to protected species or game species, which means they have a high level of protection. Or, for example, the orange ring parrot, which is one of the main culprits in terms of fruit destruction on the island. So that is one of the main species that giving farmers quite a bit of challenge on the island. And that is now have some form of legal protection. So it would be good for us to come out, express our views, and see how best we can influence the policymakers, maybe to have some of those species that are protected revert some of their protection status. But we're doing it in a way that it will not cause the population to basically become threatened or extinct. We have to do the things scientifically to also to ensure that, because Tobago is a birding destination, so we don't want to successfully treat agriculture and then the tourism industry crash, in a sense. So we have to find that balance, strike that balance in everything.
And that's what we're looking for. The balance. It's like it's supposed to be there. In a perfect world, it would be, but it's not quite. I'm not saying it's not moving in the right direction. It's not there. It's not moving there at a pace that is going to be beneficial to our environment. Casey, jump in. What some of the discussions that would have taken place, do you see us moving in a positive direction?
Lovely question. At this point, I think the focus really is on getting our populace to be, one, aware and engaged, because we have an attitude where most of these instances, you put it out in the open and people in the public are, as far as they're concerned, okay, it's the division will get it done, that's their job. But for this to work, we need a more hands-on and collaborative approach. That means every Tobagonian must be interested. Every Tobagonian needs to be vigilant. That is to report sightings of the pest. And in the context of giant African snail,
right,
use that hotline. You see that suspicious snail, 482-7528, call or WhatsApp. Then from that juncture, once you know what to do, make sure you have your killing bucket, your solution on hand once you're in an infested zone, and you treat with the pest appropriately. That is drowning them in that solution, not throwing live snails in the garbage. Do not do that. Do not throw snails over your neighbor's fence. Yes, these are some of the things that I have encountered during this time dealing with this thing. You cannot get rid of your problem by taking it to somebody else, okay?
Yes.
Do not crush them under your feet. Do not apply salt, soap powder, any killing agent directly onto snails in the open environment, particularly on the open soil. Do not do those things. Do not handle them with your bare hands. Always protect yourself. Cover your hands with a pair of gloves or a plastic bag. Do not put snails that have not been drowned for at least 24 hours in the garbage and then send it off to the landfill. Surefire way to dispose of them is to ensure that you burn them. And now that we're in the rainy season, you can do so. Contain it in a little barrel, drum, whatever, and incinerate your snails for your final point of disposal. Those are the do's that will help us get over this juncture. Of course, more work has to be done in terms of safeguarding the entry point, which is the Scarborough Port. And those talks have happened, and more talks will take place as we move forward to see how we can close that gap, because that's the opening. Yeah? But in terms of what we have on the island, every Tobagonian is responsible for doing their part. So you report, and then you follow the guidance provided by the division and all the officers that are there to help you. Another thing I want to emphasize, those areas of overgrowth. So in every community, there are pieces of property that have no structures on them, no buildings or anything, but they're full of bush. So what that does, although everyone else starts to do the treatments and the eradication team is also out there working, those empty lots of land full of bush are housing, giving the snails the proper environment to hide, to mate, and to multiply.
Definitely.
So even as we clean and we work in all the other areas, you have a consistent source to resupply the infestation in the area. So I'm calling out to all those people, you know yourselves, in all the communities who have infested, abandoned lots of land. please start working along your community members and get the areas cleared. We are making those calls to those persons. We hope that you'll continue to cooperate with us, but cleaning the area is critical to combating this pest.
And you know, there's one question that I wanted to ask. Darren, this one is for you specifically. With regards to the snails, we were just talking about the various types of pests. Is there animal life that would ingest these snails?
We have heard also that there's one of the land tortoise that normally will feed on the snail. And I think, Casey, there was another species. I can't recall it right now.
A couple species.
A couple species. I think the opossum or manico.
Yes.
It's alleged that it eats the African snail also.
Okay.
So we ourselves, yes, the hunting season is approaching. In October, people will hunt the opossum. So we ourselves have to be careful and mindful of what we eat, because I think the snail carries parasites.
Right. And that parasite can
be transferred,
meningitis
if we consume the opossum, etc. For example, a lot of people don't know the armadillo, the blood of the armadillo carries Hansen disease, that is leprosy.
Right.
The only animal in the world carries that. You know, Hansen disease is the armadillo, the blood of the armadillo. So if you come in contact with the blood of the armadillo, it gets into an open cut on your skin, you can get Hansen disease, which is one of those old biblical diseases that we know about in this modern day. But yes, and we realize so that there's a lot of food source on the island, so a lot of birds, the numbers are increasing, mammals are breeding. The agouti is one of the main problematic challenges we have on the island. Farmers complain vehemently about the agoutis. Agouti have a gestation period about 3 months. So every 3 months, the agouti could make young. It's like it's basically a rat, and the agouti feeds on, they feed on fruits, the tubers, the cassava. People complain vehemently about agoutis. So we really want people to come out and contribute towards the discussion. The African snail, I think, is an invasive species.
It is.
Invasive. We have some other species that have the potential to become invasive. Invasive species is an exotic species or foreign species that comes in, dominates, take over environment. It could outcompete the native species, create problems, spread diseases, etc. So we want people to come out and really come out and give us an idea, especially with the controlling of the pests. Well, my co-worker here, I already have a method prescribed, and she's encouraging people to use the prescribed method to control the African snail, because if you don't, it could create additional problems.
Yeah.
So there's no one solution to the pest challenge that we have. We have to do things, use a lot of solutions simultaneously. And one of the things that past researchers would have identified is that people who spend a lot of times on their farm don't have much challenge or problems with wildlife pests. We have a number of part-time farmers based on situation. They go to work, otherwise they farm, because farming, some of them maybe I could call it maybe agriculture might be a hobby for them, and creating a lot of challenges on the island, because once you're not on your farm, the birds and the other mammals will come out and destroy your food crops, etc.
Yes, definitely. And those of you who have to get the bush meat, did you all hear what's happening? Most of these species are ingesting the snail, the giant African snail. And this particular species carries parasites. Yes, yes, yes. You heard it right here on Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. And I just want you guys to stress, again, how important this consultation is. It's not just going to a meeting and sitting down and talking. It is actually something that you want people to walk away and actually implement what is discussed, because at the rate at which these snails are growing, and they seem to be able to survive in various types of environments. So that's the thing. That by itself is a whole vibe. And then we have the animals now who are eating them, and they are now carrying the parasites. So that's a whole other cross contamination, you name it, as a whole other thing going on there.
In actuality, it's just the nature of ecosystem, right? So there's cycles, the food cycles, and how that's just how energy moves in the environment.
Definitely.
Right? So you have everybody feeding on different levels. We just happen to be at the very top of that food chain in the environment. The consultation is important. You will not only be lectured to, it's a consultation. So there's an opportunity for people to ask questions where, there may be gaps in your knowledge. There's the opportunity to also put forward things that would have worked for you, especially pertaining to the wildlife pests. And there's also the opportunity to be able to huddle with other farmers and staff from the division, different expertise to be able to come up with novel ideas and better management systems for these different pests. In the case of the giant African snail, however, we will be doing more of an educational drive because there isn't much room for variation in the management. There's a set prescription for making sure that we suppress and eradicate this particular thing. What we want is for more people to hear and more people to buy in to the quest that the division is now on to rid Tobago of these snails.
Definitely, and you said that so well, Casey, so well, so eloquently put. I want to thank you guys for giving us your time. Darren, my brother, thank you for coming in. Casey, always a pleasure speaking with you. Just remind us before we wrap the days of the consultation, just for the viewers.
So the day of the consultation is tomorrow, Tuesday, 29th October, at the Betsy Hope / Louis Dow Multipurpose Facility, and on the 5th of September at Castara Community Center, 6 p.m. So we will encourage the whole island to come out, share experiences, bring solutions, because at this present time, there's no one solution to treat with the farming challenges that bird pests and mammal pests pose to the farming community. So we're expecting to see the Betsy Hope Multipurpose Center full tomorrow afternoon, and we have a nice discussion. We share our views, and we're willing to listen, to hear success stories, and listen to solutions from members of the public.
And we thank you so much. We're going to take a break, but before we do that, and Casey and Darren, do not answer the question on air. It is for the participants who are looking on. So let me just put that out there. Our trivia question for today, guys. Fill in the blanks. The Tobago Main Ridge Forest Reserve is the rainforest in the Western Hemisphere. Get to typing. We want to see those answers. And we will be right back with more Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.
But this place is boring enough. We don't even do nothing. Let me go somewhere now.
I really want some new things, yeah? Poof! Then look no further. Portmore is the place for you.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can have anything that your heart desires. Take a look for yourselves. A world of endless opportunities. Feeling hungry? Go get something to eat. Books and stationeries, games, and much more. Portmore, the island's beat.
Summerama, real steam for the summer at standard. Is a dream for the summer. Dreamy, steamy, standard. What you have? All the best deals, no drama. Standard be beat like a hammer. Go tell your friend, tell your papa, tell your mama. We got more. Standards of what is searching for. Quality brand, discounts galore. New things for the summer, online in store. Summertime is here, so make the most out of it at Standard. Never beaten on quality and price. It nice.
There's a new date for Tobago Swim Fest, September 17th, 2023. Come and witness the main event, the 4-kilometer swim from Pigeon Point to Buku Point. More than $25,000 in prizes. It's a family affair, so come out from 11 a.m. on the beautiful Buku Beach. There'll be swimming races, sandcastle building, and seafood on sale. Come and enjoy a fun day at the beach. Calling swimmers from Crown Point to Charlottesville. Registration on the day.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I told you guys it's a fun-filled show. There is something for everyone. You know, we would have spoken about communications, we would have spoken about agriculture, and now we speak about mass, carnival, and those lovely things that go along with it. And my next guest speaks to that. I have with me on set Mr. Dexter Sandy. And he is the band leader of Iconic Mass. So Dexter, oh my gosh, thank you.
Good morning.
Good
and
morning.
Good morning to your viewers.
Thank you so much for giving us your time. Iconic Mass, you guys are doing wonderful things. And most recently, your collaboration with Mud is Life out of the Calder Hall community, which is where I grew up, by the way. Good morning to Calder Hall. Tell us about Iconic Mass. How did you guys start? You know, tell us a bit about the journey, and then we can go into what's next for you, which regarding your collaborations.
All right. So Iconic Mass came out of Iconic Events, a team that was formed in 2019, primarily doing events just after Carnival. People would know us for producing Soca After Mass, which runs from Ash Wednesday for 5 days. So it's 5 days of festivities as a Carnival cool down.
Right.
And last year, when it was signaled that Tobago would have its own Carnival, as an organization, we decided, let's get involved in this because our primary focus is tourism through entertainment. So we've always pushed through entertainment to get persons living in Tobago to come out and experience your island. A lot of people just stay in their communities and they don't really come out, right? As well as to encourage the domestic tourism, those from Trinidad and from abroad who may be coming to Tobago just to cool down for Carnival. We always encourage that. So transitioning into the mass now, we opened the doors and made it possible for the same domestic tourism and the locals to come and experience mass in its Tobago's format on the road. So last year being the first year, the feedback we got was tremendous. A lot of support we got from persons, sponsors, and from well-wishers. And we put out 3 sections on the road. Everybody would have been overwhelmed, I would say, in terms of what they experienced. It was very similar to what you would get in Trinidad, right? It was an all-inclusive band, so you had your drink truck, your music truck, even your wee-wee truck, right? We had our rest stop, all the elements that make up that experience with a premium band. We had that last year. And so this year, we're going again at it, all right? And we're coming back with some of those elements. And what we have done is try to enhance the package. So last year, we were just a pretty mass band on the road. But we listened to the masqueraders and they said, look, we can't just come to Tobago for one day. We can't come out to Roxborough just for one day.
Yeah.
Right? We want to be with you all on the road for Juve and for the parade of the band. So we decided this year we're going to introduce that Juve element.
Right.
Right? So we do have a Juve section that we're bringing out. And you know what? We looked at the people who have the experience, right? And that brand, that strong brand of mud. Mud is life.
Yes, definitely.
Right? And we had a conversation with them. And from that one conversation, it was a go. Right? Mud is life, welcome Iconic Mass. And we are on the road with them come Juve morning.
Yeah, that's going to be something to see and be a part of. Because you're saying it and my mind is already seeing, I'm already seeing the imaging. I'm already seeing the pomp, the splendor, the festivities, the noise, the smiles, it's already picturesque.
Yep.
Yeah? But you guys got in touch with Mud is Life. Any other collaborations in the near future for Iconic?
We're always open for discussions. So far this year, it's Mud is Life to start off the Juve.
Right.
Last year, we did a collaboration on the road with Arcadia Mass. Arcadia wouldn't be on the road this year, but we did do a collaboration for the final party, last lap, as we call it, with Sunfest. And this year, we are repeating that. So Iconic is putting out a band, and our theme this year is 3 gems, 3 experiences, 1 price. So as a masquerader, you have the opportunity to pay 1 price, and you're going to be in Juve, you're going to be in Parade of the Bands, and you're going to be part of the Sunfest after party. A lot of people remember that last year because they were, wow, you had fireworks, right? And that was courtesy Sunfest.
Right.
Sunfest, they brought all the masqueraders together up at Shore Park, and we had just about 2-3 hours after party, and it brought down the curtains on the mass experience.
So you receive all of these services for 1 price.
You will be this year, definitely.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. You guys hearing, right? Yeah. So get in touch with Iconic Mass. How do we reach you?
Iconic Mass, we're accessible via Instagram. You can send us a message there. We're on Facebook. And as well as we have a hotline, a WhatsApp hotline. It's 716-4262. And there you have the ability to send us WhatsApp. We have an agent on standby who will respond to your inquiries. And we would even send you the link right away with regards to being able to register with the band, looking at the packages that we have available for costumes, Juve, everything is accessible and ready for you.
So what about October Carnival? What is the discussion like?
The discussion, so last year was what we call an investment into mass, because a lot of the bands, we experienced challenges in producing the costumes and the parade of the bands. And we had a lot of visitors on the island. A lot of them last year came for Burna Boy. So as mass bands, we realized we had a lot of spectators and we didn't come out financially well. So we look at it, last year was really an investment. And we're really hoping this year, with the push, with the marketing, with the collaborations, that we will all fare better for 2023. So we're eagerly anticipating Bago Jam this Thursday night, right? It's going to be an independent celebration. It's really a chance for the bands to showcase, whether it be physically or digitally on the screens, all that we have to offer. And from there, we're going to continue rolling out our marketing. I know Mother's Life, they are really in anxiety mode with this collaboration, and we are equally invested in it as well. And we really want to bring it on the streets, let people get an appreciation for what Mother's Life brings, as well as with iconic masks. We have our element of paint, so it's really on the road, and I mean, it augurs well for the festivities.
Yes, definitely. And Calder Hall has always been synonymous with mud mass expression of mud masquerading. You know, it brings me back to one event that I would have participated in, and I represented the village of Calder Hall, and my costume was mud, glorious mud. I would never forget that. So just think about the imaging there, the colors and the textures and the tones. And I've always been so proud of the fact that this is a legacy that comes out of the village of Calder Hall.
Yeah, I mean, the guys up at the Mother's Life camp, they've really, over the years, refined the product, right? A lot of people back in the days just understood, you go to the mass camp, there are drums of mud, you grab some mud and you put it on yourself when you're on the road. But we've seen where it has transformed now that they have monokini packages, right? And there's colored mud. Right, so it's no longer just that brown natural state. You have the colored options, and the band, in terms of the presentation on the road, they have actually created a festival. So after you go through the road experience from 4 a.m. to 9, you can go into the festival hub at Shore Park, where you actually experience other elements of mud. And Iconic saw it, you know. This is something that we could be a part of. I will really help to grow the experience for the masquerader and what Tobago's carnival product will look like internationally.
Yeah,
you know?
and I like the fact that you're saying internationally, because right away there is a standard that you cater to, and it must be, if not equal, better than what's already there.
And what we try to do with that standard is two things. Pricing. We try to make sure the pricing is attractive and affordable so that everybody can participate. And also the quality of the product that we put out. We try to make sure it's on par with anything that somebody who is sitting in New York and looking at this program online, you know, they can say, okay, Tobago is an option. You know, it might be a little challenge with getting there. But we'll work it out. And I mean, so far, we're seeing in the media where our MP for Tobago West, we've seen where the Division of Tourism, they have been clamoring for, you know, for Caribbean Airlines to come on board with us. And let's work it out so that it makes it easy for the masquerader outside of Trinidad and Tobago, or even the masquerader in Trinidad, to get to Tobago. That was a challenge last year. I mean, with the element of Tomac not being around this year to throw another Burna Boy, right? We're really hoping that the air bridge and the sea bridge will be full of persons coming to Tobago to play mass, to get that experience, right? And I mean, all the bands, we're all marketing, and we have costumes at different price points. I know Iconic, we have costumes from as low as $1,600, right, to $2,200. And the options are there. And with that price, as I said, you get 3 experiences, and they're all inclusive. You're getting food and drinks throughout those 3 experiences. So at that kind of price point, you already know it's a steal of a deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? We are cutting corners to make sure that we could put it out there that you don't have to dip too deep in your pockets
right.
For the experience, but you will get that premium experience.
Yeah. I love the fact that you're willing to do it just a bit differently. And you are actually, and you're not just entertaining, but you're introducing various aspects of the event. And so for a masquerader, they don't feel like, okay, I'm paying this price and I'm just on the road for Carnival Day. You know, they're actually involved in so many other aspects of what is going on for the Carnival season. And that is a wonderful, beautiful thing. And we thank you so much for your vision, your wonderful team. Anybody you want to send a shout out to at this time?
The iconic team is a small team.
Okay.
All right. Ricky, Adrian, Mosi, Rochelle, Kelsey, Ashel, Gerald. I mean, they have their Instagram handles. I wouldn't put all those handles here today. But that team, even Carissa, the team has really grown. And we continue to encourage persons to come and be a part of the team because it's not a one-man show. And to put on a production like this, it takes a lot of manpower.
Yes, it does.
Right? And I mean, I must say thank you to the team for really steering the part. I mean, this weekend, we sent out a marketing team to chow to summer. Right? And a lot of people saw it and they've been messaging me, oh, how could I get one of those monokinis? Right? And that's just brand awareness that we're putting out into the space. You're going to see some of those same monokinis on the road for Juve. And I mean, the team has been working hard and we're really looking forward to giving you, the masquerader, the experience come October 28th and 29th.
Yes, and we love it. Before we wrap, just remind us how we can reach you, your social tags, telephone number.
Yeah. So our social media handles on Instagram and on Facebook, we're at iconic_mas, right, M-A-S. And you can hit us up on WhatsApp or you can call us on 716-4262. Once you go onto our social media pages, you're going to see the link, the live link, to be able to go onto our portal to make any purchases thereafter.
And registration. It's pretty easy.
It's pretty easy. Once you go in, you add on, you put your full name, your email address, your contact number, and you're registered. And from there, you'll be able to get information from us weekly because we send out email blasts. You get up-to-date information there on Instagram and Facebook as well.
Right. Yeah, and I'm seeing some of your lovely costumes, the
Yep,
coloring.
we have the 3 gems, Buku Reef, Angel Reef, and Pirates Bay.
Yes.
We're featuring key spots in Tobago. Again, marketing the island. So persons know, okay, if I come to Iconic Mas and I'm playing in the section Buku Reef, right, is that portrayal of Buku Reef, the colors that we selected for that section, Angel Reef, which is that popular reef just outside of Speyside, and Pirates Bay. We know that hidden bay in Charlottesville.
Yes.
Right? We do have the Juve. We've entitled the Juve Lovers Bay as an additional gem. Right? So once you go onto our page, you would see everything there. Take your time, get familiar with the information. I mean, now is month end. Now is the perfect time to make a down payment.
Get
all right,
there.
Before sections are sold out. And so you can reach out to us at any point in time.
Definitely. And Dexter, we just want to thank you. We want to thank the Iconic Mas family. We want to thank Mother's Life family. Thank you for your wonderful work. Not just pushing the culture, but really bringing eyes on the Tobago aspect of things. The imaging, the textures, our folklore, our stories, natural treasures. You guys are really trailblazing and being pioneers. And we thank you so much for that.
Thank you. And we'll continue down those lines and hopefully the entire carnival, the entire island can benefit from things like this.
Yeah, but what do you want to say to the guys and gals, kings and queens who are watching? If you had to give a positive message or a word, what would you say to them right now?
I would say Tobago Carnival October is our product, and we all have a part to play in it. And we really need to come out and be a part of it so that in selling this story to someone else in 2024, you could speak to your experience and what you would have felt on that day, whether it be Juve morning or going along the Old Milford Road stretch at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, just before the sunset, or even at the Sunfest after party. You're supposed to be able to spread this word to a friend or two who is in Trinidad or in the States or any part of the world and say, hey, come to Tobago for Carnival. It's the last Carnival in any calendar year, and it's really the smaller version of the Mecca, right? Port of Spain is there. We've seen all the positives that comes out of Trinidad, and we've learned from it. So come to Tobago, experience Carnival, and tell your story so that more persons will come the next year and the year after that.
I love the way that you said that. One of the things that sometimes we fail to do is look at continuity. We don't see way ahead. We're looking at right now, right here, this time, this place, and the continuity goes out the window, which is why I love the fact that you are not just, it's a legacy. You're creating a legacy. And this is what we want to celebrate very, very much. So I just want to thank you for coming, being a part of Brunch. On the screen, I'm seeing so many of your beautiful costuming. Your models are gorgeous. I'm seeing persons that I know being models right now. Yeah. And the imaging, it just makes you want to, all right, I like that. I have to come. I have to come see this. It's so wonderfully and tastefully done. And professionalism at its best. You know, and we just want to thank you. We just want to thank you so much for that. Mud is Life have been pioneers for like a very long time now, and it could only get better with this collaboration that you guys are having.
And they have even reached the point of, as I said, the Mud has evolved. Mud and Mud, they have a website, so you could look at mudislifeexperience.com. And on that website, you will see all the offerings of what Mud is Life is doing for 2023.
Yes.
Right? It's no longer just some people in mud going down the road. And we knew over the years, a lot of people would just go to the mud camp and wait for the band to come out and they rub on somebody to immerse themselves in mud. No, we're saying let's change that, right? You buy into the product, you go in, you get your mud, your packets of mud, there'll be the drums there, you immerse yourself in it, and we come down the road enjoying, you know, that experience. And at the end of it, I mean, everybody loves, at the end of playing mud, you go into the beach right there in Scarborough and you rinse off. And your skin gets an additional glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is an experience.
Yeah. So you'll be able to rinse off the mud, the paint, everything right there. I mean, if it is, and that's after the festival up at Shore Park, right? Because the event doesn't finish at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m., the festival itself kicks in and that goes till 2 p.m.
Yeah.
So you really have the opportunity to be in a Juve setting from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yeah. And you know, one thing that I wanted to ask you, Dexter, did you always, imaging, was that always a part of you? Were you an art student or into craft or anything like that growing up?
Me personally, no.
Okay.
No. Some elements of it during school tenure, but for me, it was always about event management.
Okay.
Right? And when the team came together, our whole concept was, rather than just throwing a party for throwing a party's sake, we must be adding value to Tobago.
Yes.
So it was always based on tourism, which is bringing out the person who would not ordinarily come out of the community and bringing the Trinidadians to Tobago, because the domestic market is the strongest market. We have over 400,000 people playing mass in Trinidad. All we want is 1% of 4,000 just here for 2023, and let's grow from there, right?
Definitely.
So once we could get that traffic across to the island, we'll be grateful. But arts, I've always been into event management,
right?
And seeing people enjoy themselves, Yeah. So that's my background there, outside of my 8 to 4.
Yes. And it's a wonderful, I love it when, the sons and daughters of Tobago are doing positive things. For those of you who are just joining, I almost every show, I have to make mention of the trailblazers, the pioneers, the people that went before us, who makes us unique, doing wonderful, positive things. And Dexter speaks to that as well. So we just want to thank you. Thank you for your imaging. Thank you for your vision. Thank you to your team. And thank you for showcasing Tobago in the way that it should be showcased.
Yeah, thank you for having me here this morning, just to share and impart what our product is and will be for Tobago Carnival.
Thank you so much. And we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back with more Brunch, a taste of Tobago. See you guys soon.
Mamai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now, 333-4430 at Mamai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. If sickness catch you off guard, I tell them never ever worry. If times fall on you real hard, I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
And we are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I want to thank you. I humbly and sincerely want to thank you. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being a part of what we do here on Brunch. We seek to inspire you. We seek to empower you. And of course, inform you. And for those of you who are just joining, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, the Amplian Network. We are talking about art, culture, you name it. We talk about all those topics on Brunch. And my next guest speaks to that. She is an artisan, she's an educator, a student, a poet, a writer, a singer, a performer, you name it. And my next guest has done it all. Please welcome, my dear kings and queens, Miss Ascala George. Ascala is My sister, she's there waving from another Mr. Ascala is one of those persons that is really taking the cultural landscape of Tobago to higher heights. And we are so privileged that she is here. Ascala, good morning.
Good morning. I'm very happy to be here as usual. Always a pleasure. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Tobago. Many love.
Yes. And we are so very proud of you. I am personally very proud of you. I would have seen, you trail, you're what they call a trailblazer. It's like you take the bitter with the sweet, as they say, and you make it into something phenomenal. And I have always admired that about you. So you are out there. Maryland, good morning. United States of America, good morning. The Maryland Institute. Ascala, what's going on? Tell us what's up. What's going on with you?
I am here at the Maryland Institute College of Art. It's located in Baltimore. This is the main building behind me. I'm going to step down so you guys get a better view.
Yes, please.
Right. So this is the main building here. It's a very lovely marble building. And I am representing Tobago, as we can see.
Oh, yeah.
Every day is Tobago Day. I am representing Tobago at the Maryland Institute of Art, where I'm going to be studying fine arts.
Okay. So, fine arts. Tell us a bit about what that would entail for the viewers who are looking on and listening. What would a fine arts study program entail?
For me, I'm always thinking about skills that are tangible, and I'm always thinking about skills that can contribute to Tobago. So if you come to Maryland Institute of Art, you can specialize in different things. You can specialize in graphic design, you can specialize in sculpture, or you can do like me and specialize in fine arts, which is a mixture of many of those specific specialization. So when you study fine art, you leave with a wealth of knowledge. You can program the course to suit yourself. You can program the course to really focus on things that give you interest. So we just spoke about carnival. So I can learn about sculpture or wire working and come back and contribute to carnival. We heard that we want 1%. Let's make that 2 or 3%, right? And then apart from carnival, I'm also going to be specializing in graphic and visual work. Again, I could come back and I could work with you.
Oh, yes.
So the fine art degree is basically a blend of many things that would be tangible and can contribute to art tourism in Tobago in the future.
I love it. And I love the fact that you specifically, you are there and you're representing. I feel like this is where you should be. I feel like this is what you should be doing. I feel like you are showcasing even when you're not in class, even if you don't have a subject that day, you are constantly bringing awareness to Tobago, to the Tobagonian mind frame, our culture, our expressiveness, our rhythm. That's the word, our rhythm. Because there's a rhythm in the way we do things. Yeah?
There is. And there's a specific rhythm in the way the Tobagonians do things. Big up to my Trini people, but I feel like as a Tobagonian, we need to really explore our specific culture and we need to really dive deep into it. And I'm talking about culture in all regards: food, dance, speech, and being an artist I would be able to tie all those things together as we create this beautiful art product for Tobago. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, I am too. I feel so elated, and this is a personal feeling because I would have met you and we hit it off. We sparked. There was a connection there. And you are very much connected to your ancestry as well. And it's so evident in the way that you express yourself as a woman, as a Tobagonian daughter or sister or aunt. And this is what brings me back to the point I was making where you are constantly representing even when there are no subjects, there's no writing, there's no nothing, but you're representing because when you leave these shores, your identity becomes such a powerful blueprint. And so you have to push for that specific niche that says, hello world, I am Tobagonian. How has the reception been for you? Did you experience any type of culture shock or anything like that? How was it for you?
Oh, in Tobago, we have the saying clean, green, safe, and serene. Now I'm on Micah campus and it is clean, green, safe, and serene. Agreed. But Tobago cannot be matched by that saying. In Baltimore, the area is separated in the poor black area and the rich white area. That's what it is. I had a serious culture shock when I saw the poverty, right? That poverty and drugs, and then to see the other area that is very rich. So that was a culture shock for me. And what it made me realize and appreciate even more is the Tobago pride. Us Tobagonians, I often say we don't litter and we don't do certain things. We have a pride in our beautiful island. And that is something that I want to continue pushing as I go forward. Right now, I have a class that is going on, and the major assignment for that class is a 1-year assignment. I already know that my assignment is going to be Tobago based, right? Because I want to continue educating persons about Tobago. Persons are very curious. They know a lot about Trinidad because of Carnival. They are not very familiar with Tobago. But I want to make sure that after I leave this Baltimore, DC area, that Tobago is known even more. And not just for Carnival. We are going to be known for Carnival, but for art and for food and for tourism. This is my passion. And so it's important to me. Yeah, it really is. I could talk for days.
I know, right? I
Yeah,
know
it's my passion.
because that's what I'm saying. I am looking and listening, and it's a personal feeling for me because I know you are one of those persons, you are never afraid to speak that Tobago narrative or that Bago narrative, as we say. So once you see and listen to a Scarlett George, there is always the rhythm of Tobago in her speech, in the way she carries herself, the presentation that she's giving. There is always that Tobago pride, and we love you for that. We are so thankful that you are on that journey, and we know for a fact that you would be spreading that Tobago awareness, that rhythm inside of us that the rest of the world needs to catch up to, as a matter of fact. So I know for a fact that you would definitely do us proud. You are definitely in the place, in time, where you need to be right now. Yeah? What do you want to say to the viewers? If you could leave us with a positive word or message, what would you say to our viewers today?
Right. So I just want to go back to the topic that we were dealing with in class, and the topic that we were dealing with today is identity. And I think a lot of times as Tobagonians, we make ourselves small because we think that we're from a small island. But Tobago, while we might be from a small island in terms of size, the Tobagonian person, we are big in terms of our culture, we are big in terms of our morals and our values, we are big in terms of our craft. And I want every single Tobago boy and girl that is watching this video right now, do not limit yourself. Do not limit your ambitions. Do not limit your desire because of fear or because of I don't know how I will accomplish this. Start. Where there is a will, there is a way. Put things into place, whether you want to network with other Tobagonians who are flying the flag of Tobago, or if you want to work with a private organization or a government organization, but do not kill your dreams because of fear. Because in order for us to make Tobago even greater than it is, we the people must contribute. So that's my
Definitely.
advice.
And you said it so well. I have to touch on, because this is basic and it's reality. Financial assistance. Let's touch on that, because this is very much a part of your study. You have to be financially sound. What has that been like? Are you receiving any financial help or assistance at this time?
Right, I'm not receiving any financial assistance at this time.
Okay.
So far, it has been personally funded and family funded. However, I did go through all the steps of applying for financial assistance from the government. I did the interview. The interview was a very good one, and I am just about waiting for protocol and processes to take place. You know, you just have to have patience and hoping that things will line up and I would be getting assistance. But it's a waiting game right now. I did my part and now I have to wait and see what happens.
All right. Well, we
But again,
are very much
God helps those
aware.
who help themselves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I understand that. But sometimes, you have to look at the human aspect of things. And for what you're doing, I personally think that the assistance is coming, but it needs to be coming a little bit quicker. Yeah? And so if you don't mind, we would take your information off air, and we will send our phone number out for persons wishing to contact us in order to extend assistance for your college, for your study, the time that you are going to be staying there. How long are you in Maryland for? How long are you studying?
3 years.
For 3 years. Yes. So the assistance needs to be coming for you to, because you need things. You need to be able to live. You need to be able to be comfortable. And so we would try our best and rally around you. Like I said, we will take your information off air, and we would also provide a number where we can be reached in case persons need to make a donation. Yeah?
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate
So,
it.
yes. So what's next? What's next for you? Because I hope that you are still writing. You're an awesome writer, poet, spoken word. You always bring such elegance and eloquence to your craft. So I hope that fine arts is going to be highlighting, you're going to be highlighting that aspect of you. I hope. You're going to be presenting any type of...
What's next for
what's
me
next?
is at the end of this year, I have an art exhibition. Well, I would be one of the featured artists in an art exhibition that the consulate to Miami, the government consulate to Miami, is hosting an art exhibition in Miami. So 3 of my pieces will be featured in that art exhibition, so I'm pretty excited for that. I can't wait to go and network. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait to go and
Yay.
network and really see other artists as well, Caribbean artists, Trinidad and Tobago artists, just promoting our artwork in Miami. So that's the next big thing. And then also, I have been quietly working on a series of spoken word pieces that I will launch online. So those are the 2 main things for now.
Okay, because I was just about to ask you about your pieces, and are you still writing, and are you still, inspired and putting pen to paper and stuff like that? But you just answered the question because you said yes, you are, and you are looking at doing your publishing online. So that's something else, my brothers and sisters, that we need to look out for from Miss Ascala George, or daughter or sister or aunt, you name it, she is that person, always representing Tobago and always representing well, effectively and positively, and we love you, we love you, we love you for that. Which class are you missing? Because you just indicated your class is going on at this time.
This class is going until 3 o'clock. Trust
Okay.
me. This is a whole day class. I did speak to the lecturer before, so he knows and he's okay with it. I actually got to leave when they were taking a break. But I just want to go back to what we were talking about with the poetry. A lot of times when poets write, we can only write from our perspective. And perspective is only gained through experience. So being here at MICA is now giving me another perspective that I can tie in when expressing about Trinidad and about Tobago. When you hear people singing songs like Trini to the Bone, and those songs that really get to the heart and the soul of what a Trinbagonian is, they are writing because they are able to say, I've been here, I've been there, and when I compare it, my neighbor string, there's a loyalty that I have to my homeland because I know, because I now have a greater perspective and a greater appreciation. So the writing will come and the writing will definitely be better because of it.
What about your students that you would have left now? How are they? Have you heard from any of them? How are they doing? Do they miss Auntie Ascala?
All
She's
right,
not
so
here.
my students, you just pull on my heartstring. I want to talk about the spoken word group. The spoken word group at Bishop's High School, the Black Hat Poetics. Before I left, the group was very strong and the group has a student leader. So I ensured that I empowered the students to take up the mantle. So a lot of the production that we were doing in the last 2 academic years, I facilitated, but the students peer-headed those things, right? So I know that I have guided them to a point where they can now do this thing on their own. Of course, at Bishop's High School, we have a lot of other teachers who are versed in spoken word that can also take up the mantle, but I expect to see great things from the Black Hat Poetic in the future. So yes, I have a little tabanka. I'm sad, but I know that I would have left them with the wealth of knowledge, experience to really continue doing what they need to do.
All right. And there you have it, guys. Miss Ascala George. Oh my gosh, a sister from another mister. That's all I can say. Wonderful person inside and out, poetic, communications, writer, educator, performer, you name it, and she has done it. And we just want to say thank you from our family to yours, Ascala, and blessings to you. and success in whatever you endeavor to do. So thank you so much. We will talk soon, and we are going to take a break. But you know what? Let me just go to our trivia question real quick. Nobody got it, but I'm going to read it again. A trivia question for today was you had to fill in the blanks. The Tobago Main Ridge Forest Reserve, blank. Yes, the Tobago Main Ridge Forest Reserve is the blank rainforest in the Western Hemisphere. So I think I'm going to stick with this. We are so privileged that you joined us. This was another edition of Brunch. Please be blessed for the rest of the day, and we will see you on Wednesday for more Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Have a blessed one, and thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.